I would now like Mary O'Driscoll to please come on down and to introduce our next Hall of Fame inductee, Brigadier General Les Kodlick.
Thank you. Oh, okay. Thank you very much. It's really quite intimidating when I see my fellow honorees from last year and then I see the honorees from this year. I wonder, what on God's green earth am I doing here? Les Kodlick, it's very interesting. I just met him actually at an event on Capitol Hill last spring, shortly before he retired. And as things go, we started talking and we realized that his wife and I were in the same sorority together here at NAU. So it's the whole small world thing that you find when you're at NAU, and it carries with you forever. So who knew I was ever going to meet someone like that in any of my travails? And so it's an honor to have met Les. It's just wonderful. Brigadier General, retired. He's a corporate communication consultant, motivational speaker, and guest lecturer. He was the director of public affairs for the U.S. Air Force, which I think is interesting. You call it the world's largest aerospace organization. Working at the Pentagon, he advised the Secretary and Chief of Staff of the Air Force on public affairs matters. He was responsible for developing and executing the Air Force's global strategic communication enterprise to build understanding and support for the Air Force. He led a headquarters staff of 120 and was responsible for the entire public affairs career field, providing guidance and support to 5,500 active duty, guard, and reserve airmen and civilians. Now, I have 6 people who work under me. I cannot imagine having 120 and then being responsible again for another 5,500. The mission is to broadcast internal Air Force information, conduct community and media relations, manage integrated marketing, and execute the service's security review program to protect classified and sensitive information. He received his commission in 1984 through the Air Force ROTC program here at NAU. He served in Wing, Numbered Air Force, Major Command, Air Staff, and Joint Staff positions and was commander 3 times, including a combat tour at Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan, where he earned the Bronze Star. Among his many assignments, he worked in New York City as an account executive for Hill & Knowlton as part of the Air Force's Education with Industry program, which you mentioned earlier today, a fascinating program. He also served as a National Defense Fellow and an associate at the Institute for the Study of Diplomacy at the Edmund A. Walsh School of Foreign Service at Georgetown University. His military decorations include the Distinguished Service Medal, the Defense Superior Service Medal, and the Legion of Merit, among others. He's also a 2-time recipient of the Public Relations Society of America's prestigious Silver Anvil Award, including PRSA's Best of Award for Excellence in Issues Management. Les Kodlick.
Well, good evening, everybody. Truly humbling experience, especially, as you read the resumes of the people who are receiving this award or those who have, from the United Nations to government agencies to international news broadcasting organizations and around the globe. This is just a very impressive group, and I'm humbled to be part of it. I want to really start, though, but if you think about these kind of events, they don't just happen. And so, Vicki, I want to thank you. I want to thank the young lady who is the Emmy Award winner doing all the camera work. I know that Ann Buzzard has spent an immense amount of time putting this together. Karen, thank you. All the support, all the staff, all the cadets, everybody who's worked on the activities for homecoming has just been incredible. So it's important we thank and recognize them first. NAU, my experience here, thought about it, and NAU, and in particular the School of Communication, prepares you for a career. NAU prepares you for life. NAU prepares you for success. And these folks are perfect examples of that. That's certainly true for me because I remember my advisor, mentor, Dan Julian, Professor Julian, and we put my program together. For those of you parents might find this interesting. I know my parents did as I tried to graduate on time, and I had 4 or 5 different majors, and they're just like, make up your mind, pick a college, do something. But I chose communication because I love it, because it's a passion. And I have a great number of people to thank for any success that I've had in life. First and foremost, my parents. My dad's here, retired Air Force. My in-laws, my aunt. Family is hugely important. And of course, I have my wife of 30 years. So if you're a military spouse, in the span of 30 years, we moved 18 times. She's an oncology nurse. She started her career over every time. She's licensed in 8 different states. She just got her license in Montana. I'm incredibly proud of my wife. And to be honest, she keeps me humble. She keeps me grounded. I'll share a very quick story with you. We were driving out here. So from Colorado Springs to here, it's about an 11-hour drive. We stopped to get gas. I finish filling up the truck. I go inside to grab a soda. And I come outside, and this garage is actually down in Phoenix. And I see her. She's kind of giving this gas station attendant, this mechanic, a hug and a peck on the cheek. And so, yeah, I'm kind of curious. And so we get in the truck and we drive. And I said, so, honey, who was that? Now, I need to back up. Working through high school and college, I worked in a garage and construction. So I have a great appreciation for what they do. But I didn't know who this guy was. So I said, honey, who was that? And she goes, oh, just somebody I used to know. And I said, well, she said, is that it? I said, well, we dated a little bit. And I said, well, aren't you glad you married me? I mean, look, general in the Air Force, I'm being inducted in the Hall of Fame. And she said, well, I said, pretty good. And she said, well, if I'd have married him, he'd have been a general, and he'd be inducted in the Hall of Fame, and you'd still be working. So I feel very lucky. Carol's an NAU grad, class of 82. She'd probably like me to say 92. But it's the support of family. It's the spending money from parents to get through school, those kind of things, and I think we've all been there. There's one other reason I just need to share with you. I'm particularly proud of my alma mater, and that is their support to the ROTC programs and to our veterans. Earlier today, in fact at 1 o'clock, I had the opportunity to attend the grand opening for the Veterans Success Center. Now this is a facility that helps veterans use their GI Bill and go back to school. An interesting statistic is that more than half of the veterans who are going back to school actually graduate from college and go on to have successful careers. Despite the challenges, these are seasoned adults typically. The average age is about 28 years old. And NAU is doing incredible things with the College of Business to help our veterans. It is the actions of our university, of our alma mater, that makes me incredibly proud. I wore the uniform for 30 years. I was proud to serve you. And NAU carries on the tradition of patriotism and service. Service in academics, service in school, service to their nation. And that makes me really, really proud. I want to thank Dr. Chang, Dr. Van Slyke, who's not here this evening, Dr. Pugliese. She was the provost, vice provost for the ROTC detachment. I need to point out the detachment commander, Lieutenant Colonel Mark Friend, who's here with us this evening. He trains the future leaders of our Air Force for tomorrow. And I want to thank again Ann Buzzard and actually Norm for reconnecting us to NAU several years ago. It's a proud tradition, and I'm incredibly honored to be here tonight. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Mary, and congratulations, Brigadier General Kodlick.